Hey guys, so today I'm going to be making my oatmeal soap. I'm using the Stevenson white melt and pour soap base that has shea butter in it. And I'm also going to be using the French green clay from Nurture Soap Supplies to add a little bit more of the detoxifying kind of aspect to the soap. So I have all of my melt and pour soap cut into small squares that way, or cubes, that way they'll be melted down a lot faster. And then you're going to want to put this in the microwave for 30-second intervals. And if it's still not melted after a little while, let me think. Usually I do it for about a minute and a half, and if it's still not, then do it about on 10-second intervals, because you don't want to burn the soap. And especially if you're using a glass measuring cup, then you want to kind of stick to the 30 seconds, stir, and then put it back in for 30 seconds because that can explode. But I'm using these plastic pitchers that I got off of Candle Soap Supplies, but you can also find them pretty much anywhere. I just got them on there because I was ordering my cases of soap, and I actually have my 25-pound case of the white soap right here. So I'm going to pop this in the microwave, and once it's melted down, I'm going to add a tablespoon of French green clay because I don't want too much in there to make it a really hard bar soap. And then I'm going to add the oats to it, and I'm not adding any fragrance oil to this. If you want to, you can add the oatmeal and honey fragrance oil, but I'm just using these oats, and they actually fragrance the soap themselves. But this soap is really good for eczema or dry skin. It's easygoing. It's not tough on the skin, so if you have very sensitive skin, this is the best soap to use in my opinion. So I'm gonna pop this in the microwave and I'll be right back. All right, so I have my white soap base melted, and I usually just use plastic knives to kind of mix it around. I don't really want to dirty up anything that is gonna take a while to clean, except for these little containers right here on the cutting board. It really helps, and it doesn't get hot enough to melt any of these. So now that I've got this stirred and it's all melted down, I'm gonna spray it with rubbing alcohol, and then I'm gonna add the clay into the melt and pour. I'm just gonna do about a tablespoon. And then what I'm going to do is spray it with a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and you will have some kickback, and just mix it in and just continue to spray. It'll help break down those air bubbles that's in the clay. And as we go along too, most of this clay will break down, but I would like for it to be in little patches as well, just to give the soap some more texture along with the oatmeal. Okay, I'm gonna spray the top to get any excess bubbles out. And the rubbing alcohol will disperse after the soap has cooled down, and you won't smell the rubbing alcohol anymore. If you're going to use the oatmeal and honey, you can use it as you normally would, and the rubbing alcohol fragrance will come out. It'll just take a little while. And I'm using the regular oats as well, so that it gives it a texture and the fragrance as well. And the heat will actually help break down the oats. And you will need to also reheat after a while, because the oats will absorb the heat and it will start to harden. It just depends on how long you have to work with and how warm or hot the melt and pour soap is when you add everything in. Spray it with a little bit more rubbing alcohol, get the bubbles off the top. And after you stir, I'd give it about 2 minutes, and just stir for about 2 minutes to make sure everything is nice and incorporated, and that the oats have time to soften and kind of release the fragrance. And also, when you do this, it's kind of like whenever you take an oatmeal bath, it kind of just releases all those good properties into the soap as well for nurturing your skin when you have dry skin or eczema or any other skin related issues or sensitivities. So I'm going to stir this for another minute or two, and I'll bring you guys back when it's ready to pour. Okay, so we're ready to pour. I only had to heat it up again for about 15 seconds because it started to get a film on the top. So I want it to be easier to pour. So I already filled each cavity with a little bit of rubbing alcohol and sprayed it. I'm also spraying the top. And then as I pour in, I'm going to just keep stirring to make sure the oatmeal stays on top. Okay, so I've given everything another coating of rubbing alcohol just to kind of even out the tops and also to disperse any bubbles. If you have any run over like I have, it's okay once it's cooled down. You can take a cleanup knife or a cleanup tool for soap, or you can take a knife and go along the edges and kind of bevel them if you'd like to. But once these are ready to unmold, I'll bring you guys back so you can see the finished product. Okay, so now it's time to unmold. So just pull away at the sides and you can pop it right out. This is what it looks like on the front. You can see sort of the oatmeal and then the little bits of the clay in there, and this is really good for sensitive skin, eczema, dry skin. I mean, this pretty much doesn't have any chemicals in it, so you can use it as much as you like with your sensitive skin. It's not like some soaps that have fragrance oils and that has alcohol in it. So I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you're having a really good day or night wherever you are in the world, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.